Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are general messages for the sign of Capricorn in the month of December 2018. What's going on, Capricorn? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Right off the bat, happy birthday, Cap. Happy birthday to those who are celebrating here in December. Some of you will be celebrating towards the end of December, maybe even on Christmas Day, if you're ever so lucky, right? So happy birthday straight off to those who will be celebrating in December. And of course, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, or Happy Holidays, whatever floats your boat there. I'm wishing you the best during this holiday season, okay? Capricorn, that's your main spread. Got a note, all these came face up, so that's kind of interesting. So that's your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. And then once all cards are out and they're lying face up, that's when the reading begins. I'm going to put a timestamp in the description box below for when that time actually is. Yeah, sure. Also down there is information on how to go about getting a personal reading with me if you feel so inclined, okay? Outcome for Capricorn in December 2018. Let's get it. Wow. Flipped over there right in the middle of the deck. That's cool. Bottom of the deck is your overall energy. Girl, guy, what's going on? A lot of this still work with me. Hang on a second. I gotta move these things like little millimeters here to make it all fit. Everything sort of kind of fits in screen. If I were in frame, let me see if I can move that just a tad. Makes it good enough, right? Capricorn, let's find out what's going on, okay? Where's Capricorn for December 2018? Please show me Capricorn in December 2018. Please show me. Here. Thank you. All right, Capricorn, coming into December 2018. I did this right, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at that, and that looked weird for some reason. Anyway, you come in as the Eight of Pentacles. So, Cap, you're doing what you do best. You've got your nose to the grindstone. You're really focused on, you know, putting in a day's work and getting out what you can from a situation, making gains, making, in some cases, making strides. And it could apply to work, but for right now, it doesn't feel specifically about work. Whatever your goal is, making more money, making tenure, or making partner at your job, getting fit, getting on a diet, getting whatever you're trying to gain, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to come into possession of or bolster, get more of, that's your focus. That's what you want. And with this deck and this particular card, this is the Housewives Tarot deck, by the way. This particular Eight of Pentacles is a lot more fun looking in my interpretation, or my opinion, I suppose, than it is in the traditional Rider-Waite. In the traditional Rider-Waite shows a guy and he's like chiseling on a pentacle and it looks a little laborious. He's like bent over. This woman is just having a grand old time painting these plates, making them look like pentacles. So some of you, it is a creative endeavor. It is something that brings you joy. So, okay, thank you. Holiday seasons, hello. So some of you are having a lot of fun, or you're finding pleasure, or you're feeling fulfilled and accomplished in getting your Christmas shopping done, wrapping the presents, going out and buying the tree, decorating the house, cooking or baking the cookies, and doing all that preparation so that you can have a nice holiday with your friends, with your family, and stuff like that. And so there is, even if it's not seasonal or wrapped around the season, or even concerning your birthday in some cases, if it's not concerning anything that's celebratory, there is still this very fulfilled feeling that I have. Like, you could be doing overtime at work, you could be working on some intense projects, you could be working in a high stress situation, and you're just like rolling with the punches. For some of you, it is a distraction. For some of you, it is kind of making you feel as if you have a purpose. Like I get like some of you might be in like the medical field, and you know, during the holiday seasons and you know, crazy weather, people get into more car accidents, people fall off of ladders because they're trying to string lights up on the roof, whatever. And that can be stressful and that can be very daunting and demanding if you work in that field, but it also fulfills you because you feel useful. I helped set a guy's arm because he broke it falling off a ladder, you know? So whatever you're doing, Cap, you like it. You're focused on it. You're very driven by it. You're very much goal-oriented right now. And I can't see anything like kind of knocking you off your perch, at least in this energy, how you come in. Like how you're approaching the month of December is very much, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to own this thing. I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to earn this. I'm going to purchase that. You know, it is, excuse me, it is dealing with pentacles. And sometimes pentacles, as much as we earn pentacles or earn money, we also spend money. So some of you are focused on that, spending your money. Some of you are making it your business this year. I'm going to buy nothing but gifts from small local businesses because it's in your mind that you want to, you know, show your appreciation and put your money towards your local economy. Things like this. Whatever it is that has your attention, that you're focused on, it's very conscious of you. You're very conscious with whatever you're doing. Like I said, for some of you, you're using it as a distraction. If I'm so focused and conscious about my work, conscious about my Christmas shopping, conscious about my volunteer projects, conscious about my art projects, whatever you're doing, it is detracting from and or allowing you to feel alleviated from something else. I don't sense that you're running. I don't sense that you're necessarily avoiding, but it's just like I said here, and it's sort of similar to the look on that woman's face. It makes you happy. And I feel very comfortable telling that to a Capricorn. Working hard makes you happy. For many of you, you welcome such a statement. For other signs, they would be like, what? That's not true. I hate work. But for you, Capricorn, feeling useful, utilizing your skills, working towards a certain goal, whether that be a monetary goal, a goal with, like I said, it could be a workout thing or a health conscious thing that you're doing. But having that stuff in your life and making incremental increases or steps towards achieving your goals makes you super happy, makes you super, super happy. Okay? And let's see. Between it all. Got you. And that fits because it's right there, obviously. Cool. So to kind of go back to what we started with, which is when I opened up and you could see your spread here. The triplet is back. I know earlier this year in the summer or springtime, I missed a few readings for you guys, and you know, I don't think I actually made it up to you, so I gotta figure out something to do about that. But triplets, what you see here in the center, where you get 2 cards for 1 position, and it makes like this triple effect on the board, was happening regularly in the spring and then the summertime, and it was coming up a lot for signs, and then it went away, and I was back to my normal 6 card spread with the overall and the outcome. Now it's back in December. The triplets are coming out hardcore. Out of all the signs that I've done so far, you are the 10th sign, right? Yeah, you are the 10th sign. So out of 10, only 2 did not have the triplet so far. So it's thematic this month. And for you, yours came right in the middle, and that is apt. We're going to talk about that at the end, I believe, because you've got a lot of stuff going on around what's in the center here. So what's going on in the outside could be your reaction, or could be the way that you are dealing with whatever's going on in the center, whatever's going on in the middle of you, okay? Or in the middle of your life, right smack dab. It's something that ultimately can't be avoided. So we're going to get there. But they wanted me to talk about the significance of the placement. The placement being in the middle is very significant. Now, you started off as the 8 of Pentacles. What's going on next? Yes. Ooh, girl, guy. Perfect. So this 8 of Pentacles, and I'm feeling like pretty intense. And that's interesting because the Pentacles are not necessarily intense energy, but they are heavy energy. They're very, weighted energy. Like if you think of pentacles being aligned to money, and if you might think of, you know, what money actually is based off of, it's like natural resources. So once upon a time, we used to trade with like, you know, pieces of gold and silver, right? So if you think of it that way, that's what pentacles is. It's very heavy. It's not intense in the same way the wands or fire energy is intense. It's intense in its different way. Like I feel it. It's like massive. So you have that going on. You have a lot massively going on. You might have a lot on your plate. You might be running around with, like a chicken with your head cut off with this Eight of Pentacles energy, but you're a chicken with its head cut off and somehow the chicken's head is smiling. That's a really weird and very morbid picture, but that's kind of what I feel is even if you have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things that you're kind of juggling in the air, or you're going in between different tasks and errands throughout your day, you're just like, the more you check off that list, you're like, yes, 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 I did it. You know? So in combination with that, you have the Four of Swords in reverse. I'll show you upright in case you're not familiar with this deck. And the Four of Swords is usually talking about rest and respite and sort of getting your head screwed on straight and feeling at ease with yourself. And for you right now, I think you're just like firing on all pistons and you're not making time for this. Do you need to? Should you? Would you benefit if you did so? Maybe. But I'm just letting you know, or I'm giving you the affirmation. You're going. Like just, like I said, you're firing on all pistons. And I don't see you slowing down. The Four of Swords, again, when it's upright, it's a slow down energy. It's a reflective energy. It's an energy of getting your ducks in a row and then sort of fortifying a plan and then going out and executing that plan. Or, like I said, resting and getting respite, gaining clarity, gaining perspective. You're basically just not going to make time for that. You're just not making time for that. Do you need to? Should you? I don't feel that you... It's just not a priority for you. It's just not a priority. And I keep like pausing here because part of me, logically, me as a person, feels like, can someone do that? Like, can you... Some of you might be doing like certain things like existing off of like getting through your day by drinking a bunch of energy drinks or having a bunch of espresso and coffee. And it's like, bro, girl, eat a sandwich, you know? Like make time for a meal, make time, you know, and some of you are like getting not enough sleep or you're getting less sleep than you're used to. And you feel fine functioning that way. I mean, some of you might feel exhausted here or there, but I feel like you're pushing yourself through it. So part of me, myself, as a human being, wants to tell you, hey, take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your, you know, make sure you get enough rest. You know, you don't want to push yourself so that you make yourself sick or, you know, you fall asleep at the wheel or something like that. Like, don't take risks involving your physical health and your physical body. But honestly, I think a lot of you are really vibing on this, like, energy. You're very much... So, and then maybe that's it. Like the focus is what's pushing you through. The constantly getting things accomplished, checking things off your list is your form of sustenance this month. You know, who needs a sandwich? I just got my dry cleaning done. You know, I don't need to take a nap. Are you kidding? I just wrapped all of my nieces and nephews' Christmas presents in one afternoon. And I've got 5 of them. I've got 5 nieces and nephews. And I did it. You know, it's just like something about getting stuff done is just giving your body energy somehow. And maybe that works for some people. I love sleep. I'm a sleep queen. So if you're vibing on that and you're not disturbed by it and you're not, you know, putting your health at risk, I say continue with that energy, but I'm just going off of biology. I feel like the human body needs rest. I feel like the human body needs, like, good meals in it. Like, I don't know that you can live off of coffee coffee, coffee. Sorry. I don't know that you can live off of coffee for days on end and energy drinks. Like, please have a meal. Have a meal. And doesn't coffee dehydrate you? Drink some water, for God's sakes. So some of you might be neglecting your physical body. Some of you might be neglecting, it is Swords, so it's talking about your mental capacities and having your mind be at rest. So maybe that's what it's also talking about. Let me see. Right. So if we think of it in that way, just referring straight to your mental situation, some of you might be kind of you might be pushing yourself through mind over matter. Thank you. So you might, and I've seen people do this, like especially in college, you know, and obviously they were having coffee and all kinds of other non-dosing aids, but some people, mind over matter, you push yourself mentally to accomplish something because despite how your body feels, despite how you're feeling emotionally, like you just set your mind to, I'm going to pull an all-nighter, I'm going to write this 15-page paper in 5 hours, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just doing it. Now, I'm a procrastinator, and I really associate with many procrastinators, but that's a lot. Some of you that might be what you're doing. You're literally putting in work on a project, putting in work on an assignment that is due tomorrow, and you're just like, well, I guess I should start, you know? So there's this idea of just full throttle, and I'm not feeling any type of setback. It's kind of weird. Now, on the other side of this, you have, I think, what's influencing you, or sort of like the motivation. Why are you doing all this? Why are you going at this breakneck speed? Why are you so focused on your work at this moment? And for some of you, I did say it had this, what did I say? Avoidance or ignoring or something like that? kind of smiling through it and pushing past whatever stressors you might have. You've got this 5 of Pentacles on your bottom row there. Opposite of your 8 of Pentacles is the 5 of Pentacles. And this 5 of Pentacles, as you can see, is kind of distressing. This woman doesn't mean that you're a woman or this is only applicable to females, but there's some distress here. I don't know where the hell these pentacles were. Maybe she was holding them in her hand, but as you can see, they're falling to the ground and they're about to, you know, break. So it's being mindful of or aware of or dealing with some type of loss, financial loss, loss of something materially, loss of something that pertain to your stability or pertain to your foundations, and kind of like like you're watching something crumble, or you have done this. If you're not doing it now, it's already happened. You watch something fall to pieces knowing it was going to fall to pieces. Like sometimes, like you've seen, and we've all experienced this, someone drops a plate, someone drops a glass, something falls to the floor, and somebody quickly like puts their hand out to try and stop it from falling to the ground to break. This, if you can see right there, oh come on, there you go, the look on this person's face. Oh no, the plates, oh no. It's like, you could have done something. Like, why are you just standing there? Like, only one of them is broken so far. You could at least save those last two, maybe even the third one. But she's just like, oh no, my pentacles. Oh no, my plates. So it's kind of like, not that you wanted things to fall apart or that you wanted to suffer some type of loss, but it's more of like you were witness to it and you saw it. Thank you. Here we go. You saw it coming. Therefore, you're not bent out of shape over whatever you lost. Like, okay, thank you. So if this was financial, right? You lost money somehow. Maybe you gambled it away. Maybe someone stole money from you. Maybe you overspent. Maybe you didn't budget right or something like that. Whatever. Some money that you were reliant on or you were expecting is now gone for whatever reason. And you knew it was going to happen, especially if you gambled it or you spent it and you knew what you were spending. It's like, okay, yeah, I spent $200 on that thing. Yep. I Black Friday, man. It was a hell of a day, you know? And so you saw this loss of money coming, and you are now on the other side of it prepared. You're now working harder to make up for what you lost. You're picking up overtime. You're picking up extra shifts. You're doing your side hustle. You overspent, like I said, on Black Friday or whatever you were doing. Now you're just like, okay, so I went a little OTT with the holiday spending. Now I need to cut back. Now I need to, not, in the matter of, basically 4 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas in the United States, and that's where most of my viewers are from, so I'm apologizing to all those who are not from the United States, but basically, you've only got 4 weeks to make a recovery, if this is specifically what we're talking about, overspending during Thanksgiving, during Black Friday, and then having Christmas come right around the corner. You've only got 4 weeks. So you're kind of like, well, I'm going to do it because it's only 4 weeks away. Like, whatever you overspent on, however you gambled your money away, or again, if someone stole something from you, or they, someone took your credit card and they spent more than they said that they would, or something like that. Maybe your kids, Mom, let me get the credit card. Okay, Billy. You're just like, I'll make it up. Like, in the coming weeks, I'm just going to make it up. I'm going to work more. I've got my side hustle to do. And so there's this feeling of watching something break or crumble or be taken away or be lost or whatever. And just feeling like, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's totally okay. Like, there's some type of resiliency in this card for you, which is very different than the traditional Rider-Waite interpretation, and it's very different than how I have usually interpreted this card. Like, this is the first time I have noticed that this woman is like peeking through her fingers like, oh, my plates, my pentacles, oh no, what's happening? It's like, you see it, you know it's happening, and you're not doing anything to stop it from happening. And I feel like that's your energy, Capricorn. You've already accounted for the overspending. You've already accounted for it. So you're better equipped to handle it. And I feel it's directly linked back to, I'm going to work more. I'm going to save more, or I'm going to invest my money. Or maybe some of you knew, like, okay, I can spend because something in your investments was going to pay out, or you were waiting on some type of check coming into you, maybe back pay. Maybe you've had a court issue. I don't see that here, but whatever. You just knew whatever you lost financially would come right back to you. You would either make it up by working, or it would just come back to you. So you're not upset about it. Now, oh, thank you. I was just like ready to move to the next one, but they're directing me to what we're going to talk about in the next one. So remember what I just said about you were accounting for the loss. You knew it was coming. Now we're going to switch gears, and I was really focusing on money with that. We're going to switch gears for some of you. It's not about money. It's about your home life. 10 of Pentacles right above that. It's about your home life. It's about your historical home or your ancestral home or wherever you called home most recently. That could be with you and a partner, husband or a wife. That could be you and your parents, you and your children, you and roommates, whatever. Whatever place, physically, the place or the construct of people, not the construct of people, what? The network of people. So maybe some of you're estranged from your family, your blood relatives. And maybe your family is friends, okay? Roommates, whatever. So it's in combination, two things. It's about the physical home and about the relationships that you've cultivated with the people that you live with, okay? Two things, but I'm just going to call it home. So concerning your home, 10 of Pentacles, your historical relationship with the home and the people therein, you knew things were about to get a little rocky. You knew certain losses were coming up. You knew certain dynamics were going to change, were going to be shifted out. Something left and then something was replaced, or someone left and then someone was replaced. Something like that. There's like this in and out kind of thing. Not back and forth, in and out, but something goes out, something goes in. Something is lost, something is replacing that loss. You see what I mean? So some of you, it is an issue of moving, where you had, like I said, some of you, this is your children. Your children live with you. Now they don't. However long ago that happened, I don't know. It could be for some of you the breaking. Thank you. So we're talking about breaks in relationships, right? So some of you used to live with your partner. Now you don't. And you saw it coming. The thing about you, Capricorn, you have such foresight. You plan like a mofo. You are a planner, a planner, a planner. God, are you a planner? Whew. Like Virgo and Taurus, they plan as well. But if as far as efficient planning and as far as resiliency, I feel you've got Virgo beat, because Virgo can get a little stuck in their ways and they can be a little fanciful. And I feel with Taurus would be, oh God, let me not talk about them. What I feel for you is you've always accounted for, Capricorn, and this might sound a little shady if you're a cross watcher dealing with a Capricorn, but Capricorn always plans for that rainy day or that emergency day or that exit plan. Like there's always a strategy for Capricorn in place for them to transition smoothly. Thank you. Thank you. That's the interest here. So if it was an issue between roommates, I'm not sensing argumentation. Like it's not here, arguments and stuff, but that would be a real potentially stressful or potentially upsetting reason why relationships crumble, why people move out of homes. Argumentation. Someone lost a job and they can't afford to be the roommate anymore, so they hightail it out of there, and now you're left footing the bill because you and the other roommate, let's say there were 3 of you and one dips out, then the 2 of you have to cover the rent until you find a replacement roommate, right? And you're like, well, I already know somebody and they need a place to stay like right now. So you've known people who needed who needed a place to stay, or you've saved money and you're like, okay, I can cover the rent for like the next 2 months, but between now and then we're going to have to, you see what I mean? Like you always think, what could go wrong here? And then you make like a little list. These are the things that could go wrong here. How can I bounce back from? How can I make sure those setbacks don't ruin me? These are the things I need to do to account for all of these potential setbacks. And so you go about building your nest egg. You go about constructing your safety net. You absolutely hate, and will not sit well with being what I call assed out. Caught unaware, caught without, like I said, a safety net, caught without an exit strategy. You just can't stand that. You're very resourceful in this way, and you're very resilient in that way. You have such foresight. So if this was a break in a relationship with roommates, break in a relationship with your children, or you with your parents, hey, mom and dad, I'm moving out in 2 weeks. And your parents are like, oh, really? You don't have a pot to piss in. And you're like, actually, I've managed to save $5,000 over the last year, so I'm good. I'm moving out. And it's just like, oh no, my parents are going to talk crap to me about moving out, and they're going to tell me I'm no good, or they're going to tell me I can't make it on my own. Guess what, mom and dad? I've got money. Oh, it's just like, you can throw it in somebody's face. Not that you're doing that, but that's the energy there. Is like people underestimate you, or don't. Thank you. Not underestimate. I take that back. Not underestimate you. People really are surprised that you have this bounce back to you. Like, quick. Boom. I'm okay. And it's not a facade. It's not fake. I'm okay. I'm good. People are like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm good. You have planned. You accounted for whatever was going to disturb that Ten of Pentacles energy, which is normally a very stable situation. And not to say like it wasn't. I think for many of you, it was for a long time. You lived with your roommates for 3 years, something like that, and things were going smoothly. And then one of your roommates fell down on his luck or her luck, and now they bounce out, and now you have to kind of cover the loss. And you're like, okay, I got it. It's fine. You had a marriage. You had a long-term relationship. You moved in with your partner. You guys bought a house together, for God's sake. Both of your names are on the mortgage. The marriage dissolves, the relationship breaks up, whatever. You're just like, okay, I'm going to buy you out, or I'm going to cover this portion of it. And you just, you just will easily deal with whatever falls apart. Like, this is for other people. If you were some other sign, I probably would not read this card that way. But again, they drew my eye to that woman's face, and I've never considered it, but it's just like, does she really look that, to me, she doesn't look truly that upset that these pentacles are falling to the ground and they're about to break. She's just like, I've got 5 more in the back. And maybe that's it. 5 is half of 10. Ooh, thank you. We don't really play number games around here because math is not my strong suit, but 5 is half of 10. So some of you have this division of assets between a former partner or roommates, or, you're taking everything in the house that belongs to you from your parents, and they're like, hey, you can't take that. And you're like pulling out receipts from like 5 years ago. Actually, you'll see that I bought this chair, so it's going with me to my new apartment. Like there's like this walking away with what you have put in. I hope that makes sense to you. Like you've got things on reserve. People think you're not going to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And you're like, bro, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Someone might be throwing that in your face. Your parents or whoever might be saying, watching you get ready to move out or leaving the house. And you're like, well, are you going to be okay? Like, what kind of furniture do you have? You don't even have this. And you're like, actually, I technically bought that, so I'm taking it with me. And they're like, oh, damn, that's right. Capricorn did buy that. I can't say anything about that. So it's kind of like, I think I had this energy for you last month, if I remember correctly. Like, some people might view your reasons like a little bit shady because you plot so far down the line. You're like, we got married 20 years ago, but just in case this thing don't go right, I'm going to start setting aside X amount of dollars in case this dude wants to act a certain way and I'm going to have to divorce him. Like, that is how a lot of Capricorns approach relationships. If this goes south, how will I protect myself? To some people, that's shady. To some people, that shows the intention, or not the intention. It shows that you're, that you lack, that you're not genuine. If you're already saying to yourself, well, if this goes south, how can I make sure I'm okay? That shows you're not committed to some people. I don't know why I have to mention this, but I suppose it's just to give you maybe insight into what other people might be thinking. But I don't think you give a damn about what other people think anyway. So that's what's going on. It's like, you feel fine. It's other people that have their panties in a knot. It's other people that have a stick up their butt. It's like, I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Why are you worried about me? Why are you looking my way? I'm focused on myself. I got my Red Bull in my hand. I'm trudging along here. Everything's good. What's here? What? Well, and it's Christmas time, so you might be getting calls from your ex or calls from people who, your parents are like, are you okay living in the big city by yourself? You're like, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I've got plans. I'm good. I'll see you guys after the new year. People are just like in your business and you're just like, don't worry about it. It's cool. It's cool. Now, in between all of that, where you have this very high energy, first of all of it's high energy. in combination, all of it. So you've got this, I'm just out here on my grind, doing what I got to do to pay these bills, doing what I got to do to see my bank account grow. And then over here, yeah, we had some loss. Yeah, we had some setbacks. Yeah, it was a little bit of drama, but that's over here. Like, it's way off to the side of you. You're just like, whatever. Like, you see it there, but you're like, it's not really affecting me. Like, you have it so isolated and so off to the side. It's kind of like, I'm talking about it. And you're just like, okay, we can move on, Jay. And so we will. So we shall. Okay. Now, in the middle of all that, you've got the triplet. Interesting. Girl, guy, whomever, Capricorn. I should call you by your name, right? Dude, you just feel great. You feel great. I'm not gonna lie to you. You feel great. In the middle of all this, I think is sort of highlighting your determination and your disposition. I think you've had, yes, why am I talking about it? Let's get into it. So on the top of the triplet, you've got the King of Pentacles combined with the Hanged Man energy, okay? So you've had this, like I said earlier, determined focus, and it's actually a little more introspective than people might give you credit for. I think on the surface, this is what people see. They see the King of Pentacles, which is totally in your wheelhouse. King of Pentacles, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy, right? And so you're right at home here. And I mean, look at that guy. He looks right at home, right? Kick back like that. Man's best friend, pipe in a new, I almost forgot the word for that. A newspaper. I know what a newspaper is. I'm old enough to know. Anyway, so I think people are just seeing you like this, or thinking, like I said, are you sure you're okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm good. How are you? It's just like, you're not smug about it. You're not sounding like an evil, you know, spy film villain like I was just sounding with that laugh. But it is this comfortability. You look kicked back. You looked super comfortable. And I think that's true. I think you are kicked back. I think you are comfortable. I think you are totally, totally relaxed and feeling firm. The King of Pentacles is firm. He's very strong. And it looks effortless. That's the thing. Here we go. It looks effortless. And that's bothering someone. It's bothering people that it looks effortless. And again, I don't think you give a damn what it looks like to other people, but I'm telling you, people are looking at you and thinking, because again, this King of Pentacles, unlike the other kings, well, that's the thing about the Pentacles, right? Because it's so tied to money and possessions and material things, right? Because it's so tied to that, it seems like silver spoon in the mouth kind of stuff. Like spoiled, rich, lavish. And not to say like that's, you know, who I'm talking to. I'm not saying all Capricorns are rich. I'm sure you guys wish you were, if you're not. But the King and the Queen of Pentacles, in most decks that I've come across, they always give me this feeling of, I did that. Not cocky, but like, I worked for it. And now it works for me. Does that make sense? Like, at some point previous to this, the King and the Queen of Pentacles put in a lot of work. But when they reach their pinnacle point, the apex of their energy, the apex of their experience, they don't really have to work very hard. So that's the issue that other people are having. It's like, they don't know. That's the thing, though. They don't know. They don't know all the work that you've done previous to this point. Like I said, you plan ahead, right? Oh, don't drop things here and here. You saw that this had the potential to crumble. You saw that this had the potential to go wrong. So you started to plan. You started to save your money. You started to investigate and research different ways that you would be able to pull yourself up if things were to go down the tubes. You did that years ago. People don't know that, but you did. And so that's why you are able to look like this. At your highest level, if you are on a high vibrational level in your King of Pentacles energy, Capricorn, this is what you look like. Even if you are working hard, you still have this energy in you. I'm working hard, but I don't... That's probably why you're not upset about the money. If this, again, goes back to people who were dealing with overspending or dealing with, you know, losing money while gambling or having money taken from you, whatever, if you experienced a financial loss, you've already worked hard previous to the hard work that you're doing now. Like, you might be picking up those extra hours, those extra shifts, whatever you're doing, just to keep your pockets lined. Your real money, like your money, is totally okay. Is totally accounted for. Like, whatever you lost, it's okay. It's okay. You've worked really hard previous to this. And all of that, for you, Capricorn, is tied, surprise, surprise, to some type of revelation you've had, the Hangman. You've had a personal revelation. Through, I feel, your diligence. Let's unpack that a little bit. So, the Hangman energy is about clarity, focusing on gaining clarity. Not focusing on gaining clarity, but thank you. Like, meditative. God, clean that up. Thank you. Conscious meditation. Or, pardon me, one more time. Right. So, I don't know if you're familiar with this. There are times when you can meditate or practice mindfulness, but you're actually not focused on that. Like, for example, maybe you have a long commute. Maybe you commute to work every day and it's like 45 minutes to an hour each way. Something like that. Or more if you live in crazy areas with crazy traffic hours, right? Or crazy traffic patterns, whatever. So in that time, that's a lot of time. So you're like, okay. This is not the best example, but basically while you're doing one thing, you're focused on one thing, driving to work. In this case, something like this, doing the laundry, doing the housework, doing your actual job, you know, in the middle of reading a book. Whatever you're doing, your mind is also focused on something else. Your intention, your spiritual intention for some of you, not all of you, because, you know, just not all of you. But your spiritual intention is geared towards something else, is focused on something else. So in the middle of running your errands, in the middle of doing your housework, in the middle of doing chores, in the middle of doing homework, in the middle of Netflix and chill, before the chill, during the Netflix, but in the middle of Netflix and chill, let's say, you're already getting to a place that settles you, that makes all of this okay, particularly these two cards, and a little bit the Four of Swords being on this go, go, go energy, making it okay. You're building up that resourcefulness or that ability to persevere. You built it up already. So this King of Pentacles was taking care of the financial side, the physical side, you know. It's already taking care of the things that are tangible to us, right? And the Hangman would have been taking care of your internal space. So in some cases, let's go right back to Netflix and chill with your husband or with the person you were dating. I don't care who it was. Whatever, for those of you where this is a romantic thing, and I'm feeling this could be for some of you, not a good portion of you, like not even half of you, but for a few of you out there, this is definitely a romantic thing, even though you don't have any cups. Well, you got them there, but you really don't have much in terms of romance on your board at all. But for those where it is a romantic thing, in the middle of, and this is again going to sound shady to potential cross watchers, but in the middle of all the cutesy, lovey-dovey romance, even in the beginning of when you were falling in love with this person, you were already somewhere inside of you in this hangman mode of, how am I going to get to being A-okay, to being able to work through the loss of this person, the loss of this relationship, the breakup of this relationship. How am I going to be okay with being single again? You know, maybe the first few years of your relationship or your marriage, smooth sailing. First real hiccup of trouble, not like an overnight argument that, you know, little makeup sex will, you know, kind of gloss over or whatever. I'm talking like a real disagreement. Maybe at that point you're like, he said that to me. Well, that shows me this. That shows me that at some point he might take things too far, or I might not be able to forgive him. Therefore, I need to start thinking of what it's going to be like when I'm back out there in the single life. Some of you. So there's a quiet, slow build of preparedness in the hangman. And it comes through, or rather it builds as you just go about your routines. This is very routine. Doing the laundry, putting the laundry out on the line so it could dry. Very routine. And I wish they would give me something about the imagery of this card, because I think it's hilarious. You know, we can assume that's her husband and she's hung him out to dry. So there you go. Maybe some of you have hung your husbands out to dry, or soon to be ex-husbands, or whoever it is. But I wish there was more that I could say about the imagery of the card, because I feel like there would be a message there for some of you. And maybe that's what I'm just supposed to do, is to let you look at it and you draw your own conclusion. Maybe this means something to you, something symbolic to some of you out there. But it's not for me to make a connection with today. I'm just like, yeah, she's hanging a man out on the line along with her underwear. Like, I'm not seeing anything deeper into it. So, but maybe for some of you, you can draw your own conclusions there. And you should. Everything that I say, you need to interpret for yourself. Everything that I say is not going to fit in your storyline. Everything that I say is up for your own application. I'm talking a lot about money. I'm talking about moving out. That might not resonate with you at all. So, just a little caveat there. Now, in the bottom of your triplet, you've got the Fool card. And I like this for you. Number one, the Fool card is usually a very positive card. You can sometimes interpret it literally, the fool, as in someone's being foolish, or someone's being sort of silly or stubborn, or, you know, just not smart in some instances. But that's not what's going on here. This guy, or rather this girl, comes between your Five of Pentacles and your Eight of Pentacles position. Like, they want me to talk about it on this line. And so this is your transition. Here's the predictability, or here's you observing things are going to fall to pieces at some point. Let me go ahead and get myself ready. And the Fool, in this case, even though she's rushing, she's still kind of ready. Like, there's a reticence in a lot of these cards, and especially in these three. And up there, all these women, except for her, I guess, but these three smiles. This one, oh no, but it's not like a real distress oh no. It's like a, oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I know what I'm going to do. Whatever. I don't know about you, Bill. There's just like this push through between all of the female figures in these cards. And this can still apply to you if you're not a female. But yeah, so even though we can see the Fool is like leaving this trail of stuff behind her, perhaps she's moving out. Maybe you're moving out and you did so quickly. You know, maybe the roommate moved out without notice. Like, one day you go away for a weekend to visit, you know, your family or do whatever, maybe go to a music festival or whatever you're doing, and you come back and your roommate's moved out. So there is this sense of fast, but if you left, I feel, again, you knew it. Like, it was quick, but you still handled it well. There's this feeling of moving from this, what I'm going to just call a false despair, or a not so intense despair. And then there's a quick movement into, all right, let's get stuff done here. I'm going to work overtime. I'm going to save money, or I'm going to set up my new house. I'm going to put up my decorative plates. There's just like this quick jump from, oh no, to, oh yeah. What am I going to be, the Kool-Aid man now? Oh no, to, oh yeah, you know? I just feel that for you. There's this quick move from, this is not ideal. I'm not necessarily happy that this is going to go down this way, but let me jump on to the energy that is more progressive and more beneficial for me. There is not a lot of time spent in this oh no energy. You are quick to get out of the oh no. For others, that traditional interpretation of the Fool being new adventures and having, you know, a new outlook, or being open to and walking down new paths, that's also at play for some of you. Some of you have, like I said, maybe I keep going to parents. So for some of you, if it's not you are moving out, it would be you're the parent and this is what your child is feeling, or something like that. But there is this feeling of, I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it anyway. I've never lived on my own. I'm going to do it anyway. I've never, you know, in some cases, maybe you've had a relationship. It was long-standing, and you've never been single, or you feel like you've never been single. Maybe you haven't been single for like 17 years or something like that. Oh, I'm single now. Or some of you have been serial monogamists, and you've just been having a no offense, but you've had like this sort of revolving door of partners, and now nobody's coming through that door. You know, and it's not a critique, but that's the way some people are. Some people go from relationship to relationship to relationship, and now you're single, and you're like, okay, this is fine as well. So whatever you are doing, or whatever you have done, or whatever you've begun to engage in and enact in your life, you've never done it before this way. But guess what? You've done all your homework. You've done all your research. You are so prepared. Capricorn, you are so prepared. I love it. I love it for you. I absolutely do. Now, what's your outcome for December? 2 of Cups. How nice. So for some of you where you are newly single, you know, you were married for a long time, dated for a long time, maybe you'll meet someone new in December. Maybe you'll have someone to kiss come New Year's Eve, right? And that's for a few of you, if I'm honest. I don't feel everybody here who's single is going to meet somebody. I don't think everybody who is single is going to meet someone. But for a few of you, you might meet someone, or you might have someone already in your life who's quite significant to you, and you feel absolutely enamored with this person. But for those where it's not romantic, and it's not about a one-on-one partnership, it's not about being, you know, over the moon about a person, this is still that sentiment, but within yourself. And again, so, well, what do I mean by that? Not again, but what do I mean by that? The sentiment. So the sentiment that I get off of this 2 of Cups card is feeling so just joyful, happy, abundant, feeling taken care of, feeling that you can take care of others, just this shared reciprocity. And sometimes it's like that in life, Capricorn. You bring the reciprocity to yourself. You bring that joy, that contentment to yourself. You know, the longest relationship that you have in your life is the relationship you have with yourself. And if you don't want to spend time with yourself, if you don't want to do quality time with yourself, if you don't want to laugh at your own jokes, you're going to be a miserable SOB, right? So for a lot of you, I feel that's what's going on. You might have a partner that, you know, this could have been, again, partners in business maybe, where things were faltered or things were faulty and then you recuperated. That could have been it. But at home, you're feeling fantastic. You're feeling fabulous. You love your husband. You love your wife. You guys Netflix and chill 3 days out of the week, whatever. So there is this feeling of everything is good. Everything is copacetic. Everything is solidified. And a beautiful union is happening for many of you. Whether it's a new person that you're meeting, whether it's someone that you've been with for decades, I don't know. Or like I said, even if you're by yourself, there is this feeling of cohesion. Maybe that's what you've been working on with the Hangman, and this Fool energy is getting away from this dependence. Maybe some of you, this is like a very big family home on the Ten of Pentacles. Maybe that's like where you're coming from. Like I said, maybe some of you have never lived on your own. You leave your family home, you've done your homework, you make an abrupt change, and someone might be calling you a fool. Someone might be saying, you'll never make it. And you're like, oh, I'm living by myself, downtown Memphis, downtown Miami, wherever you're living. You're like, I feel great. I feel great. I'm not dating. I live alone. Maybe I'll get a cat or a pet in the new year, but God dang it, I feel fabulous. Like, absolutely feel fabulous. And let me tell you, as for your outcome, or excuse me, as for the outcomes that have been coming out for December, yours is probably the best. So sit on that, put that in your pipe and smoke it, and you know, and you're gonna love it. You know, you're gonna feel great. Overall energy, interestingly, and you got the Knight of Cups right there. So a lot of just like positive stuff in the background, like the motors are running. This is a well-oiled machine that you've created for yourself, Capricorn. I love it. Now, your overall energy is the Tower. This card has come out a few times. Not a lot, but a few times for the month of December. And I normally am not a fan of this particular card in this particular deck because it just looks gross. Like, look at that dress. Like, that's not, it does not look tasty, blah, blah, blah. But what's coming out here is the very fundamentals of this card. Sudden changes that people cannot really predict or not really account for, and letting it ride, letting the chips fall where they may sort of energy. You know, if this is about some type of breakup, or if this is about the parting of ways between you and parents, or children and you, or roommates and you, whoever. If this is about people, you know, diverging from each other, the Tower is overseeing it and making sure everybody goes on the path they need to go on. Making sure that everything falls into place where it needs to be, so that you benefit, so that they benefit. And even if it's a hard lesson for someone, maybe you, but I feel like maybe for other people it's much harder. I think for you, Capricorn, you've done your homework enough, especially with that Hangman energy. And yeah, not really the Four Swords, but especially with that Hangman energy, I think a lot of you have done that homework and you've predicted, all right, this breakup's gonna suck. I am gonna cry. I am gonna feel upset. But after I'm done all that, how am I gonna feel? Like, you are, like I said earlier, you're just better prepared to deal with the fallout of whatever drastic changes have happened or will happen in your life, or in this dynamic, in this situation. You are much more able to roll with the punches right now. Like, this Tower card, for other signs, like I said, it's come up in previous readings that I've done. It's just not great. But for you, it's like, okay, it's fine. It's okay. Trust me. No. Don't worry about me. It's fine. And some of you might, you know, to be honest, we're all human, right? And we all, you know, fall fancy to our emotions and, you know, the energies of the day or the energies of the moment. So some of you might gripe and you might groan and you might have a little difficulty as compared to other Capricorns in your group, so to speak. So some of you might be, I'm not feeling that enthusiastic, Jay. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's tough. And I'm like, okay, I got you. It will be tough. But I'm telling you, based on everything that's here, even if you're crying over whatever you're losing or whatever is changing in your life, if you're feeling stressed, if you're working yourself like a mad person in order to avoid having to reflect on or deal with the loss from before, I'm telling you, in the long run, your disposition, your attitude, the way that you're able to approach the situation and deal with, like I said, the fallout, I can't feel it. I just don't feel that many of you, if any of you, are going to be dealing with this setback or dealing with these losses, dealing with these changes and feeling unprepared, feeling as if it's ruined you, feeling as if you have no way to gain back your strength, to gain back your independence, to gain back your money, your stability, whatever it is. I feel that you guys are fine. I can't help it. That's the type of reader I am. I am an empathic reader, and I just feel you're fine. You're fine. That's it. Okay? That's your reading, Capricorn. I hope you liked it. I like doing it for you. It's been a change of pace, I'll tell you that. So if you liked it, there's a like button down below. If you want to comment on the video, what helped you or what resonated with you, please let me know. Also down there, you've got the share, you've got the subscription buttons. Go ahead and click on those if you feel inclined to do so. And I will be back very soon, very, very soon, to do your January 2019 readings and to do your birthday readings as well, since like I said, your birthday's coming up at the end of December, so I'm going to have to put that up there quite soon. I thank you guys so much for watching up until this point. Take care. Bye.